Hello everyone, welcome to my Therizinosaurus review. But before we start this, I have a couple announcements to make. Okay, so the first thing we have is the Stegosaurus giveaway. We're really close to reaching the requirements for this giveaway. I only need 25 more followers on TikTok, and we'll be able to give this guy away here on my YouTube channel. Thank you everyone for helping me reach the goal of 1,250 subs. Alright, so the next thing we have here is this Stygimoloch. We're actually going to be giving away this Stygimoloch in a future video, so keep updated with the videos, turn that bell notification on, and yeah, don't miss out on this giveaway that's going to be coming up soon. And later in the video we'll announce who won the green T-Rex plush from the previous video. And so without further ado, let's get on with the Therizinosaurus review. Now, the first thing I want to mention about this figure is that I did acquire it on eBay. I got it for a decent price. It was only like $60. I think the market for these guys has gone down in the last couple of weeks. So when I saw it that low, I was like, probably not going to see it that low for a while, so might as well pick it up. As you can see here, the packaging looks good. One thing I did want to point out that I actually saw here on the Therizinosaurus is if you look in the artwork in the box, the figure of the Therizinosaurus has gums painted on it. As you can see there with the mouth, there's gums painted under the teeth. And if you look at the figure, it is not painted at all. It's just white, so not even out of the box, and I'm already, Alright, so now we have the figure outside of its plastic prison, and we can actually take a good look at this figure. First impressions is that this figure looks pretty darn good. First nitpick out of the box is that the eye is completely incorrect. Obviously you can tell this nitpick if it was in the box, but yeah, just wanted to point it out of the box, get a good look of it. It has a slit eye, which is a very specific pupil to do. It makes me think that this figure, not this figure, but this dinosaur originally was supposed to have normal pupils other than, instead of being blind. As you can see here in the Lego one, they also had a slit for the pupils. That kind of leads me to predict that the concept art looked like this. Lego can be a little lazy, as you can see the sickle claw, not making new molds, but yeah, you can see that even if they wanted to make him blind, they could have done what they did with the Trudon figure. I mean, the Trudon wasn't blind, it had like glowing eyes, but I mean, exact same art or the exact same details could have corresponded with the Therizinosaurus, but that's what we got. As you can see here, actually, there's a little bit of scuff marks on my Therizinosaurus's beak, and there's a little chip at the top of the figure's head. I'm not sure if that's a quality issue or if this Therizinosaurus was actually previously taken out of the package and just put back in and sold. I don't really have an issue with it, but I know other people would have an issue with it, but that's just kind of a theory I've gathered up here by just looking at the figure for a couple of seconds. Alright, now taking a closer look at the figure's paint, as you can see that it's mostly a base of a navy blue with a red wash over it in some areas, and it has gray feet, which I wish had some kind of wash, because this figure's giving me more of like a toy vibe in that area than it is a collectible. Something we can see here in the mouth is that the gums are a solid color. This will now forever be ruined for me because of the T-Rex. Seeing the detail that they can actually add inside the mouth, and now just seeing figures have a pink mouth. It's just, I don't know, a little bit disappointing, but I know this figure came out before the T-Rex did, so maybe from now on all the figures will get the same treatment. I mean, that's what happened with the glass eye. The T-Rex, well, Rexy specifically got a glass eye, And every figure from that point on, I think every figure from that point on, or eventually every figure at a certain point had a glass eye. So um, hopefully we'll see the same trend with the gums being painted. But taking a closer look at the claws, this paint does look a lot better than what I'm talking about, the gray on the underbelly. The articulated fingers is really cool. I wish some figures had this, like figures that sort of need it, maybe like a future Indominus. But taking a look at the articulation is pretty good on this figure. You can get them into really good poses with this flexibility in the joints. I think the most important part, having the plenty of joints on the arm, and in the leg you have the pretty basic joints, the locking joint on the leg, because that's like to help these keep these figures being able to hold their weight pretty good. As you can see here, the ankle is pretty good. They're pretty solid, as you can see here. I'm struggling, but they're pretty solid, so it can hold up its weight correctly on two legs. It's not gonna fall or anything on you. And here I just wanted to show you guys that this figure does stand pretty well. I've been playing with the feet a lot, and it's not that hard to balance him. Sometimes he can be a little bit forward heavy, but for the most part, like you see, like the leg articulation gives you a lot of options in order to put him in sick poses, but at the same time being able to balance him so he carries himself in his own weight, and you don't have to use a stand. The arms open up pretty wide. I mean, more wide than you probably would ever need in a Therizinosaurus. The neck's really, really good. I really like the joints on the neck. Although from like some angles, it might look a little funny, but like I think when you're doing photography, you can hide some of the angles in order to make it look pretty cool. The tail is per standard as Hammond Collection. The tail's pretty good, and yeah, like so far this figure is really good. It's just the one little knack I want to give at it. I can completely bypass the eye. Like that's okay. It looks good. I mean, it's inaccurate, but it looks good. But yeah, oh, is that red? Maybe this guy was out and just they just reboxed it. Oh wow, it looks like the same red as the wash up there, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe that's just a quality control issue. But as you can see, I don't know what these guys are called, but the claws here in the back are not painted. I might have to do that myself. But as I was saying, the gray on the underbelly, I wish it had some kind of wash or something more. It looks too solid of a color to me. But enough rambling from me. Let's get this figure compared to some other figures in the Hammond collection so we can see some size comparisons. Alright, now placing the Therizinosaurus over here on this side, and there you go. He looks nice there. Here is him with one of the larger carnivores, the Allosaurus. He looks pretty good with the Allosaurus. They kind of look sizable, like there would be like evenly matched. Maybe the Thera has a little bit on him with that center body being really big. But yeah, I think the scaling here is pretty good. I've always thought the Allosaurus is a little bit oversized, but he looks good next to the Thera. Next up, we got the Baryonyx, one of the mid-sized carnivores. I think this guy looks a little small. I'm not gonna lie, look at him. He looks a little small compared to the Therizinosaurus. I think the mainline Baryonyx actually looks a little bit better in terms of scale next to the Therizinosaurus. Let's see if I have it here so I can bring it out for you guys. Alright, here he is. He is slightly bigger than the other berry, the Hammond Collection berry. This one looks actually pretty good compared to the Thera, but let's get on to the next comparison here. Alright, so here we have the smaller of the carnivores, the Dilophosaurus next to the Thera. This looks pretty good, considering when he whacked the T-Rex. What am I saying? When he whacked the deer out of the way, it was roughly around this size. I know Dilophosaurus is supposed to be a bit smaller, but considering in the Hammond Collection line, he's around the same size as the Velociraptors. But here is the Thera next to the human characters. This is the only one I can find, but it looks pretty good. Next to the Thera, considering the head height, not the actual dinosaur, the top of the dinosaur's head, but yeah. Alright, let's see what else we have here. Let's get a herbivore out here, a Parasaurolophus from the Lost World. I think this looks pretty good. I think the para from the Lost World was a little bit undersized, so it makes sense here that he looks a little small next to the Thera, because I would think a Parasaurolophus would be kind of near in terms of size to a Therizinosaurus, but in terms of Jurassic World and Jurassic Park sizing, he looks pretty good here. Alright, so we're going to have to actually make a little bit room for this one. The Stegosaurus, one of the largest, I think it is the, no, Brachiosaurus is the largest, but the second largest herbivore in the Hammond collection. These look pretty good together. I don't think we've ever saw that there with other herbivores, specifically like a Triceratops or a Stegosaurus. So I can't really tell you. I kind of want to say that he looks a little bit too big, but that might just be me having that opinion. But I think in a display, it's not that big of a deal. They look pretty good together. The Stegosaurus is pretty big. I mean, that there is a herbivore, so will that make him the bigger herbivore now, or the second biggest? Sorry, Brachiosaurus. I wish I had you in my collection. But here we have the buck T-Rex next to the Therizinosaurus, and I think they look pretty decent together. If I had a Giganotosaurus, I would have compared it to the Giganotosaurus, but I want to say sadly I don't have one, but I actually do have one. I ordered one off of Amazon from the UK, and it just got shipped recently. So expect a review on that later. But let's focus back on the Therizinosaurus here. Here is another angle of the buck T-Rex next to the Therizinosaurus. So the Thera is a little bit taller, but there is a lot more mass on the T-Rex, which is it's how it's supposed to look like. If you're comparing it to the movie, what these dinosaurs are based off, not real life dinosaurs, but movie dinosaurs, I think it looks good. All the sizing kind of like look good to me. I can't wait to see what he looks like next to the Giga. When I review the Giga, I'll definitely put them next to each other to see how they look. But yeah, this figure is actually like pretty darn good. I like how you're able to pose him, and yeah, let's get him into some poses here. I kind of did the thing that animals do when they're trying to make themselves to look larger than they actually are, in order to intimidate either their prey or their predator, or another rival. I think it looks pretty cool doing this because of the claws. Simply because of the claws, it just looks so cool having him spread out like this, like he's trying to intimidate. I try to put him like resting on one hand. It looks a little awkward just because of the way the claws are. But this is my attempt of him kind of kneeling down, not kneeling down, but like crouching down, and being on one hand, kind of like a Spider-Man pose, if you will. But yeah, the claws, they look a little funny here, but it was my attempt. I mean, it might not be an accurate pose of what a Therizinosaurus is capable of, but here I made him look like he's running, and I kind of tried my best to make him balance on 2 feet, but I couldn't do that. So the claws are helping here. The front claws right there, you can see they're touching the ground. They help keep him stable. It doesn't look that bad. It actually does look like he's like maybe going for a little slight pace, not just walking. Here I try to make him standing a little higher, going in for a slash with the right hand, I think that is, and then the claws on the other hand being more spread out, as if he's like ready to get in a fight. I did have to balance him a little bit with his tail in order to hit this pose, but it doesn't look that bad. Maybe I should have made him like crouch down a little more, but yeah, here is back to the neutral pose of the Therizinosaurus. So alright, now to wrap things up on this review, I'm going to put this guy in the B tier on my Hammond Collection figures. I'll do a tier list soon, but yeah, so far I'm going to put him in the B tier. And also, I would like to announce the winner of the T-Rex plush. So if you guys didn't know, which you probably didn't know because I haven't announced it, but 21 was the correct answer, and these are the people that guessed 21 different times. And Ches is the winner of the T-Rex plush. Congratulations to Ches. I'll be tagging him in the comment section, and make sure to congratulate him on his victory. There will be plenty of giveaways, don't worry if you didn't win, But yeah, if you want to check out this T-Rex on my shop, all the profits of this will go down to help pay for my medical bills for my dog. It would be greatly appreciated if you can get something, or if not, just to share the shop. Anything helps. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed.